All right. What is going on, YouTube? Daniel here for another video on my morning walk. It is Friday the 15th of August, and I say that because in 2 days it is my birthday. And for my birthday, God, thankfully, through my dad, gave me the gift of once again going to Italy to celebrate my 30th birthday. So I will be leaving for that trip later today at about 5 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm recording a video right now on my morning walk because yesterday I had a day with a friend where I succumbed to one of my devils, and essentially reflecting on it today with my story and feeling the effects afterwards of how the devil uses that devil, of any devil really, but how fast it can get you an ego, and how the way out is doing something as simple as sharing, being authentic, but also realizing that, you know, the devils you're gonna have and the battle you're gonna have is always spiritual. It is 24/7. Something as simple as me having dessert yesterday. I had tiramisu, which a friend brought over, and custard, because we had that together in Naples. And I would have said no usually, but something inside me told me to go for it and have it, even though it was not within my macros. I actually went over my macros as well, eating it. And funny enough, I post my macros usually in my story, and when you're an ego and trying to perceive yourself as something, you know, perfect, or an image of yourself, I uploaded the macros even though I went over on them, but I deleted them today on my story. So it's like I said, didn't feel authentic, especially when I woke up and sharing that. But it's crazy because the feeling that I usually get when I see dessert like that, which happened in Italy, was not there. It was something I had to force myself to do, and that is something I see a lot of growth in, because, you know, everybody watching this video, 99% of the world, lives based off feelings. They do things for the feelings when you give them, a goal they set, any action they're taking, it's how they want to feel after. And this is why we're sold so much on gold, because we're chasing this feeling of, you know, whatever it is, freedom. When you're making money, like, ultimate freedom is having your own business and having all the money you need and being able to live whatever you want. That's a feeling you're chasing. Feeling of love, the feeling of love. So this like feel good feeling of everything is perfect and you have the partner you want and you guys are laughing and like cuddling all day, and, you know, sex is amazing, it's all romantic and it's beautiful. You're being sold on that feeling, and your mind is being sold on that feeling of love. There's so many different ones you can think of right now. For sure, the goal you're going after, think about it logically and realize it's a feeling. And that is the tool the devil is using for everybody to chase something. And like I said, I was like that months ago, until my coach helped me realize I had an addiction to feelings. But the whole thing with that is you are a slave to something external because you are sold and lied to by an illusion of feelings. And I had this 2 years ago when I was still in clubs, dating a girl at the time, because of a feeling I wanted that she can fill a spot that my ex-girlfriend, the one before, left. So that feeling of love, of someone there, the feeling I was avoiding as well, so you could avoid feelings of not being alone. And, you know, the devil was using that like crazy to make me, you know, basically his puppet and his slave. And I saw myself at that time doing things I wouldn't normally do because I didn't want to feel something, which was being alone. So I was spending money I shouldn't have been spending. I was acting, you know, you could say protective or I was basically being insecure with things that were happening, that, with her lifestyle, she would go out a lot, which was something I was not used to. But essentially, these feelings of, me wanting her there always, and like giving me the attention and care and love that the ex-girlfriend before me had and gave me, was something that I was always looking for in a relationship. And I even remember trying to mold her into that person that she wasn't, because she was completely different. And what I wanted was, the same relationship, but with a different person. And that's completely impossible. It's not something that happens. Every person's completely different and has something unique to give. But that is, how crazy, looking back, that feelings can play a part in your life. And that is why the whole game of avoiding the devil is more important than you think, because once you let him in, like I said yesterday, with one simple thing is eating a tiramisu and even a custard that me and my friend shared, if you let him in with that, as soon as I did that, I instantly had that feeling of, okay, there's something else I can have that could taste maybe better than this. So you try to chase that feeling. And that's when I went over my macros. Thankfully, it was a burger patty that we made that I wanted to try. But that whole thing of activating feelings, which is the devil does with something so simple, like I said, is food, is literally the path to destruction in the long term, especially if you have an addiction to that, like I did. But also, you're not realizing that the game is peace. It's not feelings. It's not you feeling something always and like, oh, I don't feel good today, so today's a bad day. Or like everyone's just like high or low. And don't get me wrong, the game is high frequency or low frequency. But what you have to realize is God, when you find him, allow him to get in by removing the right things, removing these feelings that you want and the short-term gratification. He is trying to give you peace. And peace is you not needing anything. You being able to be grateful with what you have, not desiring something for a feeling because you think you're in lack and, oh, more money is gonna make me feel this way, or, a partner is gonna make me feel this because I don't feel this right now. And you're looking for feelings or trying to avoid feelings you have right now, which are signals that you should be doing something else. But you try to, bandage that with another feeling. It's all like chasing feelings and this and that. And like, you are essentially a hamster in a wheel. You realize when you look back and you go on this journey, like I have, and you look back and you're like, wow, it was just, every day was looking for how I felt. And I never actually felt peace within myself, or love, or respect, or admiration, or was actually happy with the person I was becoming. This is something I write every day when I reflect is, thank you, God, for the day. I love myself, I respect myself, I admire myself, because there is a power that you will get into when you remove the dependency on the feelings you're chasing right now. Like I said, 99% of the world is chasing a feeling, and their ego might not let them realize that, especially men. And like, no, I'm just chasing money for this, because, they're being lied to, but they're lying to themselves essentially. But what they're chasing is, pride, which is a feeling. They say freedom, financial freedom, which is another feeling. I say financial freedom like that because freedom is actually spiritual. It's not financial. If you feel a certain way right now, you don't feel free with the money you have right now. If I add $10,000 or whatever amount you want per month, every month, 10,000 is like the new thing online. If I add another amount, you're actually going to feel less free, because, like I said, it's harder. Well, first off, you have to be free with the amount you have now, the life you have now, the reality you have now. Free or grateful, which makes you free from desire. But when you have more, it is harder to be grateful. More in any area, you have more things, more abundance in an area. Someone that has, let's say, I'll give you an example for myself. Someone that is dating one girl, as opposed to when I was dating 3 women, I was way more grateful for that one person than I was for any of the 3 when I was dating 3 women. It's because you have, more that you can lose. And essentially you don't have the same feeling of appreciation compared to one thing that you have and can appreciate more. That's the way I see it. But essentially, my arm's a little heavy here, but we're gonna make this video work. What I'm getting at is your desire for feelings, you need to remove as soon as possible with the habits that I've implanted, other people I know have implanted, which is removing consistently through wake up time, removing the need to go out, past 10 p.m., chase the night, as I call it, with, the feelings it tells you can get with like lust, drugs, alcohol, partying, music, whatever it is, sexual experiences with women, or men, if women were watching this. So removing that with a wake up time that removes all of that. So you wake up before 5, and that means you have to be in bed by usually 10 max, 11, if you want to have proper sleep. Training twice a day, every day, in the beginning especially, to get yourself in the habit of building your body and realizing your body is one of the primary things you have to value, because that's what God gave you. Body and mind are the first things He gave you. So if you're just disrespecting that, and consistently with not exercising it, not making it grow stronger, not having the right food, so the macros as well is another one. Understanding your macros and what you should be eating to maintain the weight you want, or to lose, especially if you're overweight. You have to get yourself to a place where you have abs. Get yourself lean enough where you get abs, and that's through macros, tracking your calories, because everything's energy. I compare it to someone that wants to save money that they're making, or make more money, but they don't have a bank account, so they don't see the numbers. You have to see the numbers in order for that to happen. So training twice a day, that's going to build your mentality, putting yourself through that discomfort every day. So training, and then the second round is burpees. So it's a spiritual exercise more than anything, but in the beginning everything is mental and physical, because you haven't reached that point yet. And then you realize all these things are helping you remove the things that the devil is using to make you chase feelings with, and eventually connect closer and closer to God, because you realize you get peace from the things you're doing of removing. Also removing, by consequence, you remove the environments you're in with, the nightlife, the people that were there, and then the people are going to start removing themselves as well, because your frequency is changing. You're, depending less on something external and more on the internal peace you're getting by removing these things, and you realize it's like a detox of these feelings that you're chasing, and that was me. And then from there, as long as you're consistent, consistency is the biggest thing. You can't do this for a week and things gonna happen. This is for the rest of your life now. So, I haven't missed a wake up time in a year. I've been tracking my macros every day, minus Italy, which was like a few weeks, for almost a year now as well. And, not drinking, no vices as well. So no drinking, no alcohol. These are huge. Like no gambling, not succumbing to lust, which is the final boss, but that's another one as well. But these are all things that you realize you're removing in order to remove that feeling for desire. And that is when you can actually realize that the whole journey is spiritual, and that we're spiritual beings living a physical experience and not the other way around. But the point of the video I want to make is that when you are going along the path, realize that the goal is peace, that any little thing like as simple as a dessert will get you back into that state of chasing a feeling again, because that's what the devil is using. Everything is neutral. Food, sleep, a partner. But we have to begin to understand is that it is either you doing it for God or for the devil. So when you sleep and your body's telling you need to sleep, because sometimes it needs sleep to the point where your body will break down if you don't sleep, and that is you doing it for God. If you're going to sleep for a feeling of I'm tired, or like I'll feel better after a little nap. That is the devil. That is the devil playing with your mind and making you chase the feeling again. And like I said, no one is perfect except Jesus. So you thinking this is some little thing you do for 6 months is not how it's going to work. It's just 24/7 the rest of your life. It's avoiding the devils with a wake up time. Like I said, this life, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle of avoiding the things that won't bring you peace. It'll just bring you a feeling, which makes you a slave to chasing more feelings, which is the devil putting you in his pocket again, like he is now if you're watching, or like he was before if you're on the journey right now, and realize that this is the game. So you become the new 1% as soon as you implement these habits: wake up time, tracking your macros, working out twice a day, every day, and no vices. Those 4 things will put you into the new top 1%. And then from there you start to removing enough things. God will add things in your life that he sees will help you at your level, or that you've deserved by enough suffering, because removing is suffering. Anybody can add. And then from there you can discover more of your purpose and what you're here to do, because you're removing all the distractions, all the noise from the signal, which is God, that's trying to speak with you and connect you to the source. And that's where all the intelligence is. It's not an AI or this new the AI, ChatGPT, all these AI things that are coming out. You think all the intelligence is there. This is humans that are giving you faster access to information, but it's coming from humans, other humans, articles that have been compounded and give you information faster. But the information that everybody gets comes from the source. And it's not saying that you won't use Google here and there to get some simple things, but it's not depending on you making your decisions based off a fucking computer that is being run by people. So the decisions in your life will be made when you have faith and put your faith in God, and He will give you the path and the steps to follow on the big decisions of your life, as opposed to AI and you needing to know everything out of fear of like, oh, what happens if I do this, and like you need all information before making. That's all fear that's being used against you, as opposed to faith, and not knowing the steps ahead of you, but knowing it'll all connect when you look back. So that is the video as I am ending my walk. 39 pounds, 15-minute walks in the morning, especially my rest days, which is today, and just reflecting on things that are coming, especially this trip's gonna be crazy. So hope you guys got some value from the video. Like and subscribe, more coming. And yeah, until next time, as always, keep killing it.